Hey, this is Anthony Cesari with SuccessForYourSongs.com, and in this video we're going to be talking about the roles of both drive and talent in songwriting. I'm going to be playing a clip for you of an interview I did with Ian Clifford of the site MakeItInMusic.com, who has a lot of great thoughts on this topic. So check it out here, and if you like what you see in the video, please like it or leave a comment. I think what you're saying lends itself to the idea that drive is almost more important than the amount of talent you have, because, you know, like you said, there are so many different areas to be good at. So maybe if you're a great lyricist and singer, you find somebody who's really good at their instrument and good at recording and production and that kind of thing. And you don't necessarily have to be great at all those things. But if you have an area that you're good at and the drive that you're willing to put in, it seems like could be a lot more important than just being great at everything, you know.
Definitely. I mean, I think there's 2 points that I would pick up on that. But the first one is that it's the same thing as, are you as good as Adele? Can you work in obscurity, get your deal, and then explode, right? The odds are you're not, right? But you may well be one of the other 50 artists worldwide who got signed to major labels and had a viable career that year, or you might be one of the 500 that got signed to indies in the same year that she got signed, and of whom some have done okay, or not so much then, but now, you know, one of the 500, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, I have no idea, of indie musicians who found a way to make a living. You know, if you aim for the absolute top, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you miss, you're screwed, right? Because you're still in obscurity and you haven't got the network and you haven't got the break. Whereas if you do it the other way, you're somewhere on the ladder if you've got any talent. So I think, because, going back to the other side of that, because there is all this available instruction online, the temptation is to do everything. But again, how likely are you to be a better producer or a better guitar player than, let's say I'm essentially a lyricist and a singer, right? And I can pick out a few notes on the guitar. Why spend years trying to learn to play guitar, to come up with the melodies and the riffs that you want, when there's a guy next door who has been playing since he was 7, who's absolutely incredible, and there's a guy, you know, who you don't like at school, who, because he's a nerd, because he bought a Mac and a digital workstation when he was 11 and hasn't left his bedroom. But fucking go and, you know, get him involved. It's just crazy. You just got to use that. And the driving talent thing is that I wrote that when I wrote an original ebook that we give away on our site, and I wrote it in 2009, and it was a very interesting thing because at that time I was writing it slightly from a perspective of someone who came from the mainstream music industry, and I assumed everyone wanted to be a star. And one of the things I've learned about the DIY world is that there's a whole panoply of different goals. Some people just want to make an album and sell 50 albums a year and play at their local pub, and some don't want to sell anything. They just want to do it for themselves, but do it well and show an interesting face to the world. And some do want to become superstars, and others wouldn't dream of doing a deal. There's this whole thing in between. And so I wrote that book, and one of the things I wrote in that book was the difference between drive and talent. And I genuinely believe, and I still believe, that drive is more important than talent. I think some of the people we see who are superstars are not untalented. But if you've got the 2 parts of a curve, you know, their drive is up here and their talent could be somewhere much lower, but their drive carries them through. And I guess I had 2 clients when I was a manager, and I had one who was incredibly talented with no drive, who has built himself a viable career in an offshoot of mainstream music. I'm not going to say who it is or what it is, because if he ever sees it, he'll know I'm talking about him. But he has mammoth talent, and it's not like he actually has a lot more drive now, but for when he was 20 to 35, he just couldn't be asked, and he thought his talent would carry him through. And he's lived as a musician his entire life, makes a reasonable living, but he didn't achieve what he could have achieved. And then I had a girl who was an electronic DJ and producer, and again, without offending her, she was very short on talent, but had insane amounts of drive, and she would do almost anything to get where she was trying to go. And she ended up signed to a major, and she did okay. You know, neither of them made it huge, but you know, they both did okay. But had I had the one of them stuck together, they would have been huge.
Right.
You know, so you can make do, But I think given a choice, drive is more important. And of course, you can buy in the talent. You can get, like we've just said, you can work with other people, and so that's what I would say. I think we've just put 50,000 words of new posts up, which is all about the website, building the website. And there's one massive post, comes with a workbook and an audio, which talks about some of the stuff we've just talked about. And genuinely, I think it is probably the best free course, training, whatever, that some of the other people in this space will charge you for, and we're just giving it you free because we want people to just find themselves in a place where they can take control of their career. So if you go to it, it's on the front page of the website. It's at makeitinmusic.com/band-website is where there's a hub page for it. But you're not going to be able to go to our site and not find it.
All right, so I hope that information helps. If you're looking for ways to improve your songwriting, you can download our free cheat sheet. So just click right on the screen for that. Also, if you haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, in order to get updated on all of our latest songwriting videos, you can tap this button on the screen here, and it'll also have links for that stuff below this video. So thanks again for checking this out. I'll talk to you in the next one. Take care.